see you. Hello there and welcome to Herman Manyora's YouTube channel. My name is Jedel Kibru. I'm so glad that you've joined us once again for our political conversations. Conversations that we say we hope will help our political leaders in making better policy decisions and informed political moves. I'm here with Prof. Herman Manyora. Great to see you. How are you doing?
Thank you very much.
Echoes of War by Cleopas Malala.
Yes.
Everyone is talking about Butere girls. Was the action by government justifiable, looking at what they did to the girls because of this play? Before we even talk about the play itself, should it be in our institutions? You
know, governments all over the world are always silly. They always make silly mistakes. Governments are always like that. So this one is, how can nothing makes logic. Nothing is rational about what they did. It's all nonsense.
Even the conversation.
If they had not mentioned, who would have known? I have looked at the script. It has nothing. It has no art in it.
No art.
No art. There's nothing in it. Those are just words put on paper.
Saying the
to be acted by a school girl.
The Sultan's wife is a religious person.
Nah, that's not art. Art is not like that. Art is more sophisticated than that. Yeah.
Even the playwright himself, Cleopas Malala,
yes.
Should he be the one directing? You know, this is government
There's no
saying
problem. There's
it
no
should
problem.
be a teacher.
That is nonsense from TSC.
TSC.
That's what happens to people when they have overstayed in power. Look at this lady. She has been there when I was a teacher in high school. She was there. Principal, staffing officer, then rose after somebody. What was the name of that guy? I can't remember. Then she became the director of TSC. Then they were called secretary, whatever they were called. She's been there for ages. She can't think. She's incapable of thinking.
Do you think this is her doing, or don't you think? As
okay,
says,
you
this
can
is
see it from up, but you can also advise government. You can also not cite useless things. A school is not. What is a school? If our school was to be the teachers and the students, there will be no school. There are other players. There are many other players in many activities of the school that really. Parents are players, so you'll say parents are not, cannot.
Right up.
How many times do we go to give talks to schools, motivational talks, to advise teachers and students? Are we teachers there? How many times do parents volunteer to do things with, even take children through certain activities? How many non-teaching people coach teams in schools? You know, this is when you run bankrupt, like people like Nazim Ashari and the guy in charge of education. That is where you end up. You know, I've told people, you don't need to make a fool of yourself to please your boss. You can do it intelligently.
But don't you see this is politically motivated by Cleopas Malala to paint?
Who is Cleopas Malala?
As C.S. Murkomen is saying.
Who is Cleopas Malala, first of all? Cleopas Malala ni mboga gani? Who is he?
Former UDA,
who is he?
SG.
Why are you making someone look bigger than he really can ever be?
Ever.
Yeah. So what is your problem? Who is Cleopas Malala? You let the children act that place, they become number 5 or 6 or number 1 and they go home and it ends there. Who remembers there was the Shackles of Doom by the same Malala, which was banned in 2013? Only a court, Omutata went to court and saved. A play by the same school, by the same Malala.
Then we should give.
If you ask Kenya, do you remember Shackles of Doom? The government is always made out of people who don't think. If you ask anybody, even those ones, can they remember Shackles of Doom? Even me, I had forgotten.
It was a big thing.
What?
They
government made it big. But it was nothing. It was nothing.
There are calls to
the guys behind Ikina Malala, they don't have any political weight. You are adding a few kilos to them.
The board of Butere has been disbanded because of this play.
You see?
Calls to investigate the principal, how he let, Cleopas bring this play into school.
Now, what happened is a very simple thing, Jad. It is called a chain of idiocy. A chain of? Idiocy. A man at the top coughs. Or it doesn't even say, somebody feels the man at the top will be uncomfortable.
Not even the man at the top.
Yeah.
Somebody feels.
So somebody feels, then they act, then they move into action. Then people below them realize, they also move into action. It's a chain of idiocy. That's what is going on now. They are in a hall. When you are in a hall, we are told, do what? stop digging. So don't bring any other measures. Everything you do now makes the situation worse. People are going to forget about this Butere thing in the next 1 week or two.
Yeah.
Many
didn't know
we have had bigger things in this country and people forget. So why are you making people continue thinking about this Butere thing?
What image has been...
What does the board go to do? Like I'm on a board of another place in this country. And, people have been saying a lot of things. Now there are changes there and I'm just laughing. So there are certain things a board cannot do. How will a board get involved in the running of the school when it gets to the matters of drama? So they should know what's going on in drama. Next time, what's going on in music. Next time, it's not possible. Even for the principal of a big school like Butere, unless you delegate these things, you can't do your work well. So the principal delegates. Until something comes to our attention, the principal cannot micromanage a school. They are younger teachers. These are things to be done by younger teachers. We have also taught. We have been in schools teaching. There are certain things that can only be done by younger teachers. Wewe ukiwa mwalimu umekaa, huyu mwalimu karibu kuretire. Hata kama hangekuwa principal. You think she'll be concerned with drama? Drama is for young active teachers. Music, the same. Yeah. Taking children out for sports and games. It's for younger teachers, the energy, the vibes, you know.
TPs.
Yes.
Our security agencies have been criticized too. Tear gassing journalists.
Look.
That one that was live on TV. Amenigonga haga, she said.
Wanatupanga tear gas bar kwa hospitali. Police, tafadhali. Tafadhali police. Tear gas ni kitu ya 1960-70. Hata hizi magari mmeleta za kutupia watu maji zinakumbusha Kenyans South Africa. Vile wazungu walirushia wa Afrika hizo vitu na kuua watoto. Hii tukio ya Butere inakumbusha wa Kenya vile wanafunzi waliuawa Soweto, South Africa, Sharpeville massacre. And therefore advisors near the president's advisors and government advisors must be people who are alive to certain sensitivities. They must know certain things would remind Kenyans of their past they would wish to forget or run away from. As Africans, these ugly vehicles we keep using in Nairobi with bad chemicals, you know those colored chemicals, sometimes sewage, what have you. We first saw them in Soweto, South Africa. The people driving those vehicles were white people. The people on the receiving end were black people. Surely, does it take you to be a genius to know that you are touching some nerve somewhere?
Tear gassing children.
And tear gassing children. We saw it at Langata Primary School. There was an international outcry. Why would we repeat the same? Where are advisors in this country? Where is the NIS? I want to advise the police. And as I've done before, you know me, I do from the bottom of my heart. I want to advise the police to rethink their training. Crowd management has moved away from tear gas. Crowd management has moved away from tear gas. They should rethink their training. The people in the security sector should listen to me. Rethink your training. Crowd management has moved away from tear gas. And when the police must throw... I even saw, I'm not a security expert, but I was just laughing. The police themselves are surrounded. They are in the middle of people and they are throwing tear gas. The people can just beat them if they want to beat them. We should not get to a point where the people will overpower the police. As we saw it during the Raila Mandamanos and the Gen. Did you see it?
Yes.
That is a very dangerous point to get. And this reckless and careless throwing of tear gas will lead Kenyans into overpowering the police and creating very ugly scenes. The moment you lose the power possessed by security agencies, you are not a country. Because the police, at the very most, are 100 or 120, and let us expand it to 120. Out of those, many do specialized duties. How many police are left to deal with criminals? to deal with the public. There are very few. The police, the power of the police is not found in their muscles, not in their guns and batons, not in their tear gas canisters and those ugly vehicles. The power of the police is found in the fear and the respect the people have for the police.
And so if parents see their kids being
Yes,
tear gassed,
you are pushing people to a point where they will have no respect for the police. Fear is already gone. Kenyans no longer fear the police. What remains is respect for the police. That too will go when you tear gas children. And if the people of this country do not fear and respect the police, and I'm using the word fear very carefully, it's not the normal fear. Fear is defined fear to say something in you tells you that these guys occupy a special place in society. Because we all go to our bed, sleep comfortable, knowing there is security around us. So that's the fear I'm talking about. Once you break that fear is not there and respect for the police is not there, what are we left with? We have no country left.
Maybe before we wind up, coming back to the play, it's all about politics in our classrooms.
Yes.
And this is what we've been seeing from Mstaiki Mayor, betrayal in the city. These conversations have always been there. Is it high time we get our students out of that? Or would you say...
So we create zombies. You want us to create...
Or we say this is what we need for our society to...
You want us to create zombies. Students are supposed to be critical. What does education do to you? It makes you a thinking human being. A thinking human being is a critical human being. A human being who cannot examine an issue and look at it critically is not educated. To be educated, Jad, is to be critical. To be educated is to be critical. That is the role of literature in society. That's why we teach literature to our students. That's why children, even if they are not doing literature, that's why they read books. That's why colleges and universities and some schools have lessons on critical thinking. In fact, I saw a clip from Tanzania, in a very good Tanzania Swahili, in the parliament. This MPO saying we need a Y generation, a Y generation, a generation that asks you why. When you tell them to do something, they ask you why. That is the only generation that will save Kenya and save Africa. A generation that asks why. So if you tell them jump, they tell you why. The current, what people want us to have is how high. Jump, how high?
Yeah.
How high should I jump? No, we need a why generation. A generation of young men and women who question things for this country to move forward. Otherwise, there's going to be stagnation in this country and then decay. And Africa will be wiped out of the face of the world. Africa must begin questioning things, including the exploitation, poverty born out of exploitation by foreigners. We need children going through school to develop the questioning habit. And that's a critical role played by literature in schools. So this kind of plays develop that faculty in the mind, the critical faculty. And anybody to say, kwani sisi tulisoma literature gani? Wewe ulisoma gani? So umetaja zile ulisoma kina Mstaiki Mayor, kina Kidaka Marias, nasikia watu wameipenda sana siku hizi.
Caucasian circle.
All those things we read, they were all critical. Na tuliwaambia katika fasihi ni kioo cha jamii. It is not creating anything. This is where you are. As a country, this is what you are doing. As a society, this is what you are doing. You can do it better.
What is the expectation from the head of state? Because even if you said it might not be...
Why would such a thing even get... Why should they even involve the head of state?
But now it's national. Now he needs to address it. Or what should he do?
The president should not even get involved in such a stupid things.
Let those guys...
He should just summon two people. When they think they are going for tea, hata kuna kukaa chini. Aite, nani anaitwa Murkomen?
CS Interior.
Yeah. Waingie pamoja wakiwa na mtu wa education. Anaitwa nani? Ogambo be something,
Yes,
whatever his
Julius.
name is. My boss, but I don't know the name. Awaite tu.
Yeah.
Wakijaribu kukaa waambie no, don't sit. What is this nonsense of Butere? Get out.
Thanks for tuning into that conversation with Herman Manyora on Echoes of War. What do you think about this place? Should clear up us right even more? Have yourself a lovely rest of your day.